everyone, it's Andy Glen here from Sharks TV. Delighted as always to be joined by Craig Peacock. Craig, how are you doing?
Hi Andy, not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, doing away, doing away. Just reflecting on the results at the weekend. Basically two 4-2 losses. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, obviously, it's not the start that we wanted in league and cup competition, but there are two games that I thought we were in for the majority of the game. 5-on-5, pretty much all the games we've played this year, I felt that we've outcompeted teams. I think in most games we've outshot teams as well. But at the moment, the pucks aren't going in the net for us, but that will come. And obviously, it's an adjustment still. We're still learning at this level how to play at this level. That said, obviously, it's not nice to start with a couple of losses, but there's been a lot of positives to take from both games over the weekend. We're not going to get too down on it. We know what we've got to work on in practice this week. But yeah, looking forward, I think we'll be okay.
I think you must have been looking at my notes for this interview because you've just kind of covered it all already. I was going to say 5-on-5, we've been there or thereabouts. Better team in many cases. Our PK's not been as good, and our power play is not really firing yet. But I guess that's because it's a new team and everybody's getting used to it, and we're still changing lines. Is that how it is from how you see it, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, we've tried a few different line combinations and stuff already, and there's a lot of new players into this group, myself included, joining the boys that have been there for a few years, and again, just making that step up, and everything kind of happens at a different pace, and there's an adjustment period for people, and we've only really had a limited amount of practices together as well. So to be able to work on absolutely everything before the start of the season is somewhat impossible. But special teams is one of the big things that we'll focus on that this week and really kind of look at our power play and our penalty kill, because essentially that's where games have been won and lost for us so far. Like we've said, 5-on-5, I think we've been absolutely fine. So if we can tighten up our special teams, I think we'll be okay, and we showed good promise. There's a couple that kind of gone in at the end of a power play where we've managed to kill the full 2 minutes, and the guys just come out of the box. But they're not excuses. We do need to work on it. Like I said, we haven't done much work on it because there's a million and other things that you need to work on at the start of the season, especially with a new group with so many players. So, I don't doubt that Martin will have that, penciled in his practice notes for this week, and it's something that we'll look to improve for the weekend.
How does the level compare with elite? I mean, you've obviously played elite. How does it compare, Craig? Is it a higher standard than you thought, or is it about where you thought the standard would be?
Yeah, I didn't come into it taking it lightly. I know, the National League's been a good league, and it's been on the up for the last couple of years. And it's a different style of play to what I'm used to in the Elite League. I mean, every team obviously has their systems, but there's so much structure kind of all over the ice in the Elite League, where teams obviously have some structure in this league, but is a bit more free flowing, and just kind of reading the game, and the way players think the game is slightly different. So it's a bit of an adjustment period, kind of getting used to that, and it's a slightly different style of hockey. So for myself and even our imports coming over, it's a different style of hockey for them as well. And again, all the boys making the step up, I think they've been great so far. I don't think fitness or compete or anything like that's been an issue for us. It's just a bit of a learning curve at the moment, and we've got 52 games to go, so I'm definitely not panicking about anything right now.
I mean, I guess it's a steep learning curve just now, because when you look at some of the other new teams that have been before, their first 4 or 5 games, they were getting beat 10, 12, 9 nils. We're I think we're competitive from what I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the teams that came into the league last year, like you said, they had those blowouts at the start of the season, and quite frankly, we were in every single game. You know, we could have won quite a lot of the games that we've lost, really. like I said, we've been out shooting teams. On other nights, it's every goalie we've come up against so far seems to have the night of his life against us. But we've got to be better, myself included, at finding a way to put the puck in the net, and we'll do that, and the goals will come. And I think once we're going to be a team that likes to play with the lead. So if we can get that first goal in a game, I think you'll see 2, 3, 4, 5 start flowing in after that over the course of those games, and that's when we'll start to see the wins picking up.
Luck's a thing that'll even out over the season. You're not going to get bad luck all the way through. There'll be some games that we'll win that we probably don't deserve to, but I mean, that's just sport, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially hockey. It's such a momentum thing in hockey that the ups and downs that you go through, and I'm not we're not in a down by any stretch of the imagination. I know, obviously, you take the preseason aside, results don't really matter. But obviously this weekend we'd like to pick up a couple of points at least. So we're disappointed as a group. We felt that we were more than capable of picking up at least 2 points this weekend. So we are disappointed, and we're angry, and we want to respond in the right way next weekend.
Okay, if we go back to Saturday, a history-making game for the Sharks, first ever game in NIHL. What was it like? What was it like beforehand? What was it like during the game? Did it fly by? Just tell me what it was like from your perspective, Craig.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was great to see the rink so busy, and that's something we want to keep building on, and that helps the guys. It gets the guys fired up, and there's a big crowd, and the crowd's excited, and there's probably a little bit of nerves for some guys as well, making that first competitive debut at that level. Maybe not sure what to expect, and that can play into performance as well. But overall, I think we played a good game, and again, you look at some of the luck. We pull the goalie and we get 2, 3 shots off on net, win a few face-offs, and then it hits a shin pad. A puck that's rolling usually goes to the left or right, but that one went straight in the net. So that kind of summed up our luck on Saturday night. But, I thought we played well. Another night, maybe some of our chances go in and it's a different game. That doesn't go off the shin pad. Maybe we tie it up and we get into overtime. So the good thing where we are at the moment is it's fixable. It's just small kind of errors, mental errors, really, more than anything. I don't think it's anything to do with, ability or compete level from any of the guys. It's just mental mistakes. But, it's early in the season and they're going to happen. So as long as we fix them and learn from them, we're in a good place.
I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed Saturday night's game. I thought it was brilliant hockey. And, us Sharks fans have been saying, we want closer games. That was proper hockey. The speed was just breathtaking. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And you say that bit at the end, how agonising when we pull Callum and it's rolling. Even if it went on its side, I think Olivia was going back trying to stop it as well. And just that extra bit of friction on the ice, it maybe would have slowed it enough to get it. But yeah. That's what it is. It's fun, but I really enjoyed both goals on Saturday night. Nolan's goal was great, and a peanut special, isn't it? The celebration, just great. So I really enjoyed it. I wasn't particularly downhearted at all. There was so many good signs. You could see some frustration in some of the forwards, just desperate to score, almost trying too hard, I think. But Tilford came up and played a good game, and it was just a really good game of hockey.
Yeah. I think that's that's what we're going to see every week, essentially. Is good games of hockey. I don't think there's going to be any games where it's just a given this year. If you want to win, you're going to have to work to earn the points every night. And I can't see kind of one team running away with things here. I think every team we face during this season, it's going to be a tough night, and that makes it exciting for fans. Like you say, like you show up to the rink and you're not sure what's going to happen. Obviously we want to win more than we're going to lose, and we're going to look to change that this weekend. But as a sports fan, where you're showing up to the rink and you're seeing a fast, exciting brand of hockey where you don't know what the outcome is, that makes for an exciting night.
I mean, obviously you've got your general manager role as well. How pleased were you how things went on Saturday night? Because there's hot dogs, the sound system's absolutely banging. We had the interviews upstairs, which went better than we'd done in the pre even though the guys had got beat. I mean, I brought friends down from Falkirk who'd never ever been to a hockey match, and they are like hooked. Day one, three new folk coming along. Now, I know it's a bit far for them to travel, but who knows? They'll be back again for sure. But from
Yeah.
your perspective, kind of off the ice, how did you feel it all went?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of catch up with people after the fact. During the game, I obviously need to try and concentrate on actually
Of
playing.
course.
It's kind of in my head, obviously, when you look around and see how many people there are, and people look like they're having a good time. Like you say, it's great to see so many people up in the bar for your interviews after the match as well, and interacting with us. And I think it's going really well. We're still learning that side of things as we go, and we'll continually improve on that week on week, to make sure that we get the finalized product just right. So yeah, no, really happy with the way everything off the ice is going so far. I with the ownership, they let me obviously just concentrate on playing on a game day, which I appreciate, because if I had to think about both things, I think my head would probably fall off. So but no, it's great to see, and like you say, we did things a certain way in preseason. We've already kind of adjusted a few small things into the league game there, so we're always going to look for ways to improve and make it, an enjoyable night and an overall experience for everybody coming to watch us. And to hear you say that three new people are now hooked, that's great. That's what we want. And any fans listening out there, if you can bring a new person with you every week, people know what the hockey bug is. If you've been watching it for a long time, you just got to get people through the door for that first time, and they'll keep coming back.
So, I mean, even if they'd never come and support the Sharks, I mean, they were saying to me after the game, "Where's my closest team? Is it Glasgow? Is it Fife?" They'll go to hockey now. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's all that really matters. I tell you one thing, just a little bit of feedback when I think about it. Some of the fans in the bar afterwards were ever so pleased, even after a loss, that I know Mason went and sat at somebody's, just a random table, came along and said, "How do you enjoy the hockey?" And he was speaking to folk for 2 3 minutes. The fans loved that. So I know when the players probably win a game, they'll maybe be a bit more chatty and something like that, but they absolutely loved that. So that upstairs, for anybody watching, you've maybe never been up the stairs after a game, come up the stairs, meet your team. Great time to just chat with folk.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about hockey, isn't it? It's quite unique that there's that relationship between the players and fans that you don't get from other sports. And as players, and we realize how important the fans are. If there's no fans, there's no team, essentially. So and it means just as much to the fans as it does the players. So it's nice to see that relationship, and that guys like Mason, he's a great kid, and he'll go off his own back to sit down and chat with fans, and all the boys will do that. So yeah, like you say, if you're up there, everyone's pretty friendly, and yeah, we'll probably be a little bit happier after a win, we'll still chat after a loss, that's for sure.
But yeah, it was a great night despite the result. Then you guys then have to go on what 6 7 hours bus journey down to Romford. How was the trip?
I mean, I'm kind of used to the travel. Obviously, playing in the elite league and being in Glasgow, I've been used to the long bus journeys. I think the boys dealt with it well. The ownership are great. They've given us a nice bus, so we're comfortable when we're traveling down. And apologies. So yeah, so I think the bus journey as well, and I actually thought we came out in the first period yesterday and played really well and had some jump, and there wasn't a case of kind of the bus legs, and we didn't look to use that as an excuse. The way home felt a little bit longer, I won't lie. But no, it was a good journey, and the boys were going to have to get used to it quickly, because it's something they were going to face most weekends. So
That game ebbed and flowed for the first period. You said earlier on it was power plays. Romford were deadly on power plays, and that really was the difference between the two teams, as far as I could see. I was watching it on stream. It wasn't the best angle for the camera, but Sharks looked competitive. That's pretty much the difference. I think it was power plays and penalty kills.
yeah, I think we controlled the game for large portions of it, and we had a lot of high quality scoring chances, and credit to their goalie, he played really well. Saying that, defensive side, we probably gave up a few too many odd man rushes that we like to tidy up, and obviously the special teams, which I've already touched on. But in terms of us and how we approached the game, I thought, the guys played well. And like I say, we generated a lot of offense, but we just keep running into these hot goalies at the moment. I mean, I remember myself having about, 4, 5, 6 really good looks at net where, you think they're going to go in, and he somehow saved it. So it's just about not getting frustrated at that. I'd be more concerned if our team wasn't generating offense and wasn't generating those chances. But like I say, once the first goal comes and we kind of get on a roll, we'll see them flowing in. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we look forward to this weekend coming, and there's some positives already in the fact we're playing Sheffield and we know we can beat them. Let's just cut to the chase on that. We know we can beat them away. So 2 games. Now, am I right in thinking that the face-off time on Sunday now is 4:00?
I believe
Dumfries?
that's right.
Right. Yeah. So everybody watching 4:00 Dumfries, and it's still ridiculously late in Sheffield, I think, isn't it? 7:15 or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, 7:30, I think, on Saturday.
7:30. Yeah. Right. So your thoughts on Sheffield?
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, the good thing for us is we've beaten them already. Like you said, we beat them in preseason. But that being said, we can't go in with the mindset that just because we've beaten them that it's going to happen again. They also beat us, so we're gonna be ready. I think for our team as well, and guys, we've stepped into this league. Every time we play a new team, it's going to be a bit of a feeling out process, and new rinks and things like that, where guys don't really know what to expect. So now we're facing opposition that we've already played and we're a bit familiar with. We've been to their rink, we've won in their rink, so that instills a little bit of confidence in us. But again, like I said, we can't take that lightly. But it'd be big for us if we can go down there and get another win on Saturday. I think that'll help us coming into the Sunday home game as well. We'll come back with a bit of momentum and a bit of confidence. And they're a good team. We split the weekend with them when we played them. So we'll see what happens. But I'm optimistic that we'll put some points up on the board this weekend.
I think there'll be quite a few Sharks fans going through to Sheffield because it's one of the closer games. I know we're hoping to go, so I would hope there'll be a good maybe 30, 40, 50 Sharks fans through there supporting you. So there'll definitely be support there, and we're going to try and pack out our rink on the Sunday. Is there anything we should be looking out for on both of those games? Are we going to? Do you think the lines might be mixed up a bit, or are we going to continue how we've been, or are you just going to be the coach and no say a word?
No, I'm not giving our lines or tactics away on a public interview.
Absolutely, yeah.
But no, like I said, I mean, we've tried a few different line combinations. I thought the lines worked quite well against the Raiders on Sunday. Whether Martin decides to stick with those, that's totally his call. Up to him and JT, they're the coaches. So there's areas of our game that we need to work on. Hopefully you'll see improved special teams from us on the power play and on the penalty kill. But I mean, in terms of kind of 5-on-5, it's going to be, we're just going to be looking for much of the same, and just hopefully a few more pucks start going in the net for us. And, we're controlling games 5-on-5, we're out shooting teams. We're doing everything we can to try and get, this first win. Seems a little bit longer because obviously the Leeds weekend was preseason, but I'm kind of just cutting preseason out of the equation because those results are pointless. They mean nothing. Obviously, it's nice if you win them, but all in all, they're preseason and it's minutes in the legs, and just giving us a scope of where we are. So we're two games into the season. Obviously, we would have liked to have picked something up at the weekend there. We didn't. We're not happy about it, so we're going to be looking to rectify that this weekend. So I think you'll see a hungry team coming out, lots of energy, fast-paced, and just tighten up our game kind of in the areas where we need to. Like I said, all the goals we conceded are fixable. It's nothing crazy. It's just kind of mental errors that we're making. So we'll address that in practice this week, and we'll be ready to go.
There are some positives, though. There are a lot of positives in some of the players. I mean, Nolan seems like he's just starting to get a bit of a habit. I mean, two games, 2 goals, he's starting to get there. A great goal by Kell yesterday as well, and Stenton just looks stronger and stronger and faster. And I have to mention Lewis Young as well, who I spoke to last week, and he's just loving life. But you're seeing that. I know these guys, a lot of the younger guys, have said when they've been chatting with me, that they've got a lot to learn off the more experienced players, and I put you in that bracket. Does that mean there's more pressure on you to do all sorts to be that superstar, but also to coach the youngsters, or is it just you trust these guys to get on with it and let them do it?
Yeah, I mean, of course we trust them, and Martin trusts them, and I think all the guys that have made the step up into the National League have been excellent so far, and goaltending included. I think Callum's been brilliant for us over the weekend, and Curtis when he's played too. So yeah, you talk about guys like Lewis Young, Kieran Hare, Peanut. Their line's been fantastic for us, and all our new men, Stents, Kersey, everyone. So Kel chipping in with a goal on the weekend. If we get scoring from across the board, that's going to help us as a team. Don't obviously feel pressure to kind of coach them as such. They're all really good kids, and they'll ask myself and the other older guys questions here and there and look for spots of advice. And Lewis Young wants to work on face-offs with me during the week as well, which I'm more than happy to do and help him with that. So just the fact that they go off their own back to seek advice is such a great sign. It's not, they're willing to learn. It's not like they think they know it all already. So, no, it's a brilliant group of guys. I'm really enjoying it. I just obviously try and lead by example during, practices and games, and do things the right way and carry myself in a professional manner kind of on the ice. And how about, I go about my business, and hopefully that they just kind of follow suit behind us. And like I say, they've all got brilliant attitudes, and they're all so willing to learn and eager to learn and not afraid to ask questions. So it's it's a good position for our team to be in.
Yeah, you can see the team's going to click. There's just going to be one game, and it's just going to click. And quite frankly, somebody's going to be in a hiding, and it's not going to be us. We're going to score a barrel load, and it's just getting that first little bit of luck, little bit of momentum. I think is probably the key thing. Hopefully Sheffield, it's a lovely big ice rink and loads of space for us. I'm hopeful. What's your thoughts of the weekend?
Yeah, I think our team actually played really well on their big ice surface when we went down there in preseason. I think it actually quite suited us having that, a bit more time and space to make plays and decisions on the puck. And, our team skates really well as well. So having that extra ice to kind of get your feet moving and generate a bit more speed helps. But yeah, like you say, it's just once it clicks, I think that's it. You'll see the team kind of take off, and like I say, there's no panic. We're doing a lot of good things right now. We're just unfortunately, just not quite getting over the line in the two games over the weekend. But it is only two games, and we got 52 more to go. So it's a long road ahead, and yeah, I'm quietly confident about Saturday. I don't want to say for sure, because it's never a for sure thing in hockey, and especially in this league. But I know, personally for myself, I'm disappointed on the weekend that we didn't pick up any points. So to me, it's kind of crucial that we bring something back from Sheffield on Saturday.
I think it's really difficult to say we're going to win or we're not, because we're very aware the teams are really, really close. I mean, we played Leeds, and albeit in pre-season, came up against Gospel, who apparently was fantastic yesterday and got man of the match. Leeds are sitting at the top. We were a couple, so close to Leeds when we were playing them. I don't think anybody's panicking. I don't think anybody's downcast. There's so many positives, and the hockey's just great to watch. And I think that's the key thing for us Sharks fans. We've been watching just hammerings, just blowouts of other teams, and it's been boring. It's not boring now, and the speed that you guys are playing at now is just open-mouthed at times to see it, and it's just an absolute joy to watch. So, with that in mind, game on Sunday in Dumfries. Any messages to our fans?
No, just keep coming out in your numbers, and take a note out of your book, I guess, Andy, and bring a friend along if you've got someone who's never been to hockey for the first time. And hopefully we're coming back on Sunday off the back of the win, and we want to get our first win at this level in the Ice Bowl as well. And I think when we do that, it's going to be quite a special night. So we want that to come sooner rather than later. The fans deserve it. You've been great so far. The attendances we can see the rink getting busier and busier, and all that does is help the boys on the ice. It gives us an extra push. So yeah, like I say, I think when we get our first home win at the national level, it's going to be a pretty special night, and the boys will definitely be pretty happy after that one. I'm sure they'll be having a few beers upstairs, so you'll be able to come and join us and celebrate if we can get that win. So it should be a good night. So make sure you don't miss it.
Absolutely. I mean, there's not much else on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Just check the pacer time. I think it's 4 o'clock, but just check that before you come out. What else you going to do on a Sunday night in Dumfries? I remember you saying to me in our very first interview, you want the game night experience to be just like, wow, that was just great fun. And I promise you, the three folk that I brought down were just like, wow, this is amazing. So fans, get some pals down. Never been to a hockey match before. Queen's on the plane, get down, watch the hockey. It's going to be great.
Exactly. Covered it. Nail on the head there, mate.
Okay. Craig, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Really appreciate your time and your insight. And have a great week. And we'll be cheering you on Saturday, Sunday.
Perfect. Thanks, Andy.